Hello, I'm Emma and welcome to the Cheshire and Wirral Partnership NHS Foundation Trust Involvement, Recovery and Wellness YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to be here with you and I hope you find the following mindfulness exercise helpful. Please be aware that this video content is for informational and educational purposes only. Mindfulness, as you may already know, is extremely helpful in dealing with, when applied and practiced, dealing with states of perhaps stress, anxiety, depression and fatigue. So this mindfulness exercise is called the Daily Mindful Hot and Cold Drink Exercise. Now, this exercise is particularly useful if you are perhaps a beginner to mindfulness, and it's really good to perhaps anchor your mindfulness practice into daily routine activities. So any things that you're doing on a daily basis, instead of perhaps doing them at your normal pace where you're perhaps preoccupied in your mind thinking about thoughts of the past and the future and worries, just taking that moment and intention to slow right down and just be in the moment with an activity or something that you do every day. So today we're going to use making a hot or cold drink and doing that mindfully as a way of practicing a different way in relating and being with yourself and bringing yourself into that present moment. So a bit of peace and calm for the day. So let's begin. So this mindfulness exercise usually starts with that intention to make that time and space to have a mindful hot or cold drink. So you might be thinking about slowing yourself down, going to make yourself a drink like you normally do, but just going much, much slower and trying to bring yourself into the present moment. So you might start to be mindful about how your body feels and your mind feels, and just tune into yourself and ask yourself, what actually do I need right now? What drink would give me the most pleasure? Would help to wake me up perhaps, or soothe me or make me feel a bit better. So what drink would do that for me? So this morning I'm doing a mindful drink exercise with you, and I've chosen two drinks. I felt I needed a hot cup of fresh coffee in this drink, and then a lovely cold glass of water which I put in the fridge for myself. And I took the time to slowly think about what my mind was going through when I was preparing those drinks, thinking about how I filled the glass up with the cold water. I thought about where the water had come from, how it had got into the tap. And also when I made my fresh coffee, I slowed right down and paid attention to the kettle boiling, the sound of the gurgling and the bubbling, and the steam rising out of the top of the kettle. I also paid attention to how the colour of the water changes as I fill the hot water and add it to the coffee, and the beautiful smell and sensations when I made it. So when you've made your drink, you sit down into a relaxing spot for you, somewhere where you can be quiet, calm, bit of peace and quiet away from it all. And then you take your drink in your hand, and straight away I can feel the soothing, warming feeling of having a hot drink in my hands right now, and knowing in my mind that it's coffee and I'm soon going to put it to my lips and savour that beautiful taste to wake me up in the morning. And straight away I can feel lots of saliva and juices in my mouth, and a feeling of pleasure and comfort at the thought of having my first cup of coffee. Next thing, I just slowly taking a smell of that coffee and how it feels as the smell hits my nostrils, and how it makes my body feel just having that smell of beautiful coffee in my mouth, in my nose, sorry, not my mouth. And next I go and put my lips against the cup and very gently, in the present moment, take that first sip of the coffee. And straight away I felt the taste hit my lips and swirl around my tongue, and the urgency I felt to swallow it quickly, to feel it in my body. And you can just feel that sense of comfort and reassurance having that nice cup of coffee to wake you up in the morning. So it's just being mindful and bringing yourself in the present moment to that act of drinking and appreciating. You can also think about where that coffee came from and be grateful for the coffee beans and the people that grew the coffee beans. Think about the milk, perhaps the cows or the soya milk, and where that milk came from, and the cup, how the cup was made and how the hot water was created. And be grateful and appreciate all the things that came together in order to help you have that hot drink this morning. Alternatively, if you like cold drinks, I have treated myself to putting a glass of water in the fridge. I personally found that far more delicious than room temperature water. And just holding that now, I can feel the difference in temperature on my hands straight away, how cold and relieving that glass feels. And looking into the water and anticipating beautiful cold water in my mouth. And taking a smell, and you can smell quite a bit from water. Perhaps it's the chlorine from the tap. And then that first taste in your lips. And that act of swallowing. So just be mindful of how the sensation of the cold water enters your lips, straight into the front of your tongue, of your mouth. And just noticing how quickly that you push that water to the back of the throat and then swallow it. It's really quite interesting to be mindful of how we actually drink and swallow our water. And also the sense of perhaps satisfaction that you don't normally notice when you're rushing around to drink, of when you take a drink. And that sense of feeling better inside your body, because you've taken that moment as well to meet the needs of your own body, to go and get yourself a drink. You need to hydrate, perhaps 1.7 litres of water a day you need to be drinking for your body to be able to function normally. So the act of actually having water and enough water to hydrate your body, to give your cells and your brain that chance to work and function healthily, is an act of self-love and self-care. And you've taken that time out for yourself today to look after yourself. So that is the mindful hot and cold drink exercise. That's the way I do it. Obviously, I hand over to you to try it yourself and see what your experience is, and just encourage you to use all your senses at the time. So the smell, the taste, the flavour, the touch on your hands. Just engage with that process all the way. So thank you for joining me for that mindfulness exercise on the Involvement Recovery and Wellness YouTube channel here at the Cheshire and Wirral Partnership NHS Foundation Trust. I'm going to be doing lots more exercises. I just like to take this opportunity from all of the team to just encourage you, please, to make that time and space on a daily basis to prioritise your own health and well-being and to look after yourself. Thank you for joining me, and I wish you all the absolute best. Do take care. Thank you.